Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles, and back to the Sudoku Take Out set number 4, which is our anti-diagonal pack called Trivalent Sudoku. We're getting up to the end of the puzzles now. There's only a couple more, and this is one of the ones that was listed as quite hard by the testers. This is Four-Dimensional Shadow by BremSter, which is the Quadruples anti-diagonal puzzle in the pack. Of course, you can find the link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, or you can find the link below to the entire puzzle pack. And of course, with these puzzles and link in the pack and to the Ko-fi district link below, these are often we release these packs as a pay what you want. If you feel these packs are worth it, you should feel free to contribute. A couple of bucks for the dozen puzzles is what I think is personally worthwhile. $0 is perfectly acceptable. If you're hard up or you just don't want to, that's fine. Watching the videos is also a really nice way of supporting it. But if you're thinking of donating more than $5 for a single pack, you're probably going overboard. Don't do that. Let's have a look at the rules of Four-Dimensional Shadow, and then let's try the puzzle. So we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So every box, every row, and every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have anti-diagonal, the theme of the pack. So along these marked diagonals, we can only place 3 distinct digits. So once we've placed 3 different digits on the diagonal, then we cannot place any different digits on the diagonal. Only 3 different digits on each diagonal. And then quadruples. Digits in quadruple circles must be placed at least once in the 4 cells touching that circle. So 1, 2, and 3 in this box will go in here. The 4 and the 7 in this box will go in those 4 cells. The 5 and the 6 in this box will go in those cells. I kind of looked at this when I created this puzzle, it kind of looked a bit like a hypercube with the lines and the dots. And a hypercube is, if you look at a hypercube is a 4-dimensional cube, and there's a representation. It looks like the 3-dimensional representation of a hypercube, which is the 3-dimensional shadow of a 4-dimensional cube. Look it up. It's fascinating. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a shot. So there's a couple of things we can do to start this off. The first one is the standard quadruple trick of, we know, for example, in these rows, there'll be 1 5 in each row. So there'll be 2 5s in these rows, 1 in row 7, 1 in row 8. But we know there's going to be a 5 around this quadruple and a 5 around this quadruple. So we can never put another 5 anywhere in these rows, or we will exceed the count of 5s in those rows, because there's 2 in all of those cells, but there's 1 in here and 1 in here. So all of the cells that are still highlighted cannot contain 5s. So for example, we know the 5 in this box must be down here. Is that useful? Maybe not. I'm not going to pencil mark it just yet, but it is true. Can I use that anywhere? I don't remember this puzzle. This is one of the first ones I set. I think we were making the quadruple diagonal puzzle, and you may look at them and say, these look very familiar to the diagonal puzzle. And we saw some logic. We thought, actually, this could work for anti-diagonal, and that's what we did. Where can I use logic like that? Can I use logic like that anywhere? I don't know. Yes, 5 is in one of those and 5 is in those, so the 5 must be down here. Can I use that anywhere else? Yes, 3 must be in here and 3 must be in here. That puts 3 up here. Which does, of course, mean that 3 can't be on this diagonal, this diagonal, or this diagonal. So the 3 is off the diagonal down here. 7 is up here. So 7 is off this diagonal. So 7 is down here because 7 is off this diagonal. Seven is now in one of those 2 because 7 is lining up in those. 7 is one of those. So 7 is off this diagonal as well. So 7 is in one of those. Okay. 8 is in one of these 2 because 8 and 8 is lining up. So that means 8 is off this diagonal, but that doesn't seem to be as powerful. 7 is down here. Right, 7 can be placed in this box because 7 and 7 means 7 is in one of those three. But 7 can't be here because 7 can't be on this diagonal because of the logic we did with the 7s. And 7 can't be here because 7 is off this diagonal because of the logic we did with those 7s. So that can't be the 7 either, and that becomes a 7, which means 7 is in one of those two. That's cool. Which means 7 is down here, but I'm not sure what to do with that. Okay, so let's look at the other piece of quadruple logic that I think we would have used when creating this, which is what can these cells be? Because they can't be 1, 2, 3 or 7, 8, 9 because they're 1, 2, 3 is in here and 7, 8, 9 is in here. So these are from 4, 5, 6. And the same is true here. These are from 4, 5, 6. So 2 of 4, 5, 6 must be on this line, and 2 of 4, 5, and 6 must be on this line. Huh. Well, that can't be a 5. This could be 5, 6, 5 here, and this could be 6, 5. If either of those is a 4, that's the 4. But I can only put a single 5, 6 on this line. Right, only one of those could be 5, 6, because if this was 5, 6, I'd need to put 5 and 6 on the line down here, and I can't do that without breaking this quadruple. So one of these must be a 4. So there must be a 4 on this diagonal, and the only place I can put it is in the middle of the grid, which means that is a 4, because I have to put 4 on this quadruple, but it must be on this diagonal. That's a 4. Four is in one of those two, because 4 has to be around this quadruple, but that 4 is saying not there. And now I can't put 6 on this diagonal because 6 is forced into one of those three cells. So this is actually 4, 5. And 5 must be on this diagonal, but so 5 can only go there, and 5 must be on this diagonal, and that becomes a 5. And one of those two is a 4. And whatever that digit is, which seems to be able to be almost anything. But 5 there means that's not a 5, that's a 5. And 5 is in one of those two. Five isn't on this diagonal because 5 is off this diagonal. So this is 4, 6, which means 6 is on this diagonal and it can't go there. That's a 6. Five is in one of those two cells because 5 can't go on this diagonal. So 5 is in one of those two cells. Four and 4 means 4 is in one of those two cells. Well, what can this be? So just by the central box, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. It can't be 8 because 8 is off the box down here. So it's not 8, it's 1, 2, 3, or 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, or 9. So 8 is off the line up here. What can this be? It's 1, 2, 3, 8, or 9. Can't be 3 because 3 is off the line down here. can't be 2 because 2 is off the line down here. This is 1, 8, or 9. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, yeah. So this is 1, 8, or 9 only. Because those two digits are those two digits. There is a 6 in one of those two. So these are 1, 6, 8, 9. Those are the same digit. Okay. 6 is in one of these two. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay. There's got to be some way of resolving these 4s and 5, 6s thing, I think. Yeah. Well, there's something. 4 is in one of those two, so I'm not putting 4 in any of those. 4 is in one of those two, I'm not putting 4 in any of those. 4's not there. 4's not there because of the quadruple. That's a 4. That's done very little. Ah, but I can go further. 7 is in one of those. 7 is in one of those. That is not a 7. Hang on, did I restrict 8 to here? Yeah, that's not an 8. That's a 1 or a 9. Because 8 and 8 means this is not 8. So this is a 7-8 pair, but this is a 1 or a 9. So there's no 8 here, and this is no 8 here. This is 1, 6, 9. Those are the same digit. Wow. Okay. So what could this be? It can't be 1, 2, 3. It can't be 4. It could be 5. It can't be 6. It can't be 7, 8. This is only 5 or 9. Oh, this can't be 5. It can't be 1, 2, or 3. It can't be 4. It can't be 5. It can't be 6. It can't be 7, 8. That's a 9, which means that's a 1. Which means that's a 1, and this is a 1, 6. That's cool. 5 is in one of those two by Sudoku. These are 2, 3, and 5. That's not a 5. That's not a 3 because of the 3 quadruples. That puts 3 down here somewhere. Can I restrict this any further now? Yeah, this can't be a 1. So there's no 1 in here. So these are 2, 3, 9. Two has to be in one of these now because, yeah, well, that's always the case. 2 is always in one of those two. I just missed it. Oh, I can't see. 1 is in one of, oh, this is a 1, 6 pair. 1 can't be in any of those, and 6 can't be in either of those because of the 6. Yeah, 6 is forced into one of those, and 1 is forced into one of those. This is a 1-6 pair, and because of the 2 being forced, that's now the 2. That's cool. And this is now the 4, which does everything. That's the 5, that's the 4. The 4 looks across, making that the 6 and that the 4. The 4 looks down, saying that's not the 4, that's the 4. That's a 1-6 pair, but this now has to be the 2, 3, 9 that isn't, that those are all the same digit. There's a 7 in one of those two. That lines up with those. Yeah, that works for that. Five is done, 6 is done, 2 is in one of those, so that's not a 2, 4 is done. So what could this be? It can't be 1, 2, it could be 3, can't be 4, 5, 3, 8 or 9 is all that could be. Seven and, oh yeah, we knew 7 and 8 were in here. That was always, yeah, that was always a bit restricted. Oh, 5, that's not 5 anymore. So this is the 5, this is a 2, 3. Meaning that's not the 5, that's the 5. 3 is in here somewhere. 6 is in one of those two, because 6 around this quadruple. So where's 6 in this box now? It has to be up here, and this is now a 6, 7 pair. And that does everything. Because if this is 6, 7, these have to be 8 and 9, and that can't be an 8. Why can't that be an 8? Because I can't put 8 on this quadruple because of what we've done down here. So this is a 9. That's 9, that's 8. And these become 9. And that was because of the 8 logic we did with the 8 stuff earlier. Man, I remember this now. This was, yeah. And these are now 1, 2, 3. There's no 1 there. This is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 8, 9. There's no 1 or 9 there. That's the 8, and I can take the 8 out of those. These are 1 and 9. There's no 9 here. These are 2, 3, and 8. There's no 8 there. 5 is, oh no, I've done that. 9 is in one of those two, which means this is the 1 and this is the 9. The 1 looks down, putting 1 in one of those two. The 1, 6 looks up, making that the 7 and that the 6. So this is a triple. 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. That can't be 9, so this is 3 or 5. 9 is in one of those two. And it's not there. That's the 9. This is a 3, 5 pair now. So these are 2, 7, and 8. There's no 7 there because of the overlapping 7 quads. The 6 is looking down, making that the 1 and that the 6, which makes that the 1, which makes that the 6. The 1 looks across saying that's not the 1, that's the 1. The 1 says that's not the 1. The 2, 3 pair means that's the 1. The 7 looks down saying that, well, that's not the 7, that's the 7. Okay, the 7 here, of course, puts 7 in one of those two. Still need to put 3 and 8 in here, which puts 3 in one of these two, because the 3 and the 3 line up. That's been there for a long time, but I haven't used it. Okay. 3 in this box. I don't know. 5 is in one of... Oh, where's 5? 5 can't be there or in either of those. That's the 5, which makes this the 3 and this the 5. These are 3, 8, and 9. There's no 9 there, or there. That's the 9. This is a 3, 8 pair. So where's 1 in this row? It's in one of those two. So this 3, 8 has to be in one of those two. So this is, yeah, this 3, 8. Where does it go around this quadruple? It can't be in one of those two cells. So it's in one of those two cells, which is where a 7 goes. So this is a 3, 7, 8, and that's a 3, 7, 8 triple, making that the 2. So these are now known. These are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are a 1, 2 pair. Not sure how to resolve that yet, but I'll get there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 5. What's this? It can't be 1, 2. Well, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 6. This can't be 1 or 2. And it can't be 3. That's a 6. Those ones take 1 out of both of those. That's a 2, 3 pair. That's the 1, that's the 2. 2 looks up making that the 3 and that the 2. The 3 looks down saying that's not the 3. 3 is in one of those two. So these, 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. So these are 3, 8, and 9. So that's an 8 or a 9. That's a 3 or an 8. Tricksy little puzzle. Eight is in here. Right, 8 is in one of those two, because 8 is in one of those and one of those, so the quadruples are lining up. 8 is in one of those two. What are these? 1, 6, 7, 8. There's no 6 in here, so 6 is in one of those two. That's a 6. These are 1, 7, 8. There's no 8 here. There's no 1 here. Oh, there's no 1 here. That's a 7. This is an 8. This is a 1. The 8 looks up making that the 3, taking 3 out of there. The 7, 8 pair makes that the 9. The 3 looks across making that the 8 and that the 3. The 3 looks up making that the 2 and that the 3. The 2 looks down, taking 2 out of both of those, so that's the 2. The 7 looks across, making that the 8 and that the 7. The 2 looks across, making that the 3 and that the 2. And now we're down to singles. Well, where's 9 in this row? That 9 says it can't be there, so that's the 9. And this row is missing its 8. And now we've got the 1, 8 and the 5, 9 complete. This row, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. Not sure, but these are 2, 4, and 7. The 4 and the 7 makes that the 2, and we can take the 2 out of those. Okay. Making excellent progress. The 3, 8 looks up making that the 3 and that the 8. The 7, 8 is resolved by that 8 looking up making that 7 and that the 8. Need to put a 2 in this column. And the 2 can't go there, so that's the 2. 3 now has to be in one of those two, but the 3 is looking up saying not there, so that's the 3 by pencil mark, making that the 6 and that the 7. The 7 looks across, making that the 8 and that the 7. This box is missing its 4. The 4 looks down, making that the 7 and that the 4, and the 3 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 3, and that is the solution to 4-dimensional shadow. Once again, this is listed as harder because I have solved this puzzle before a couple of times because I tested it. So maybe the difficulty ratings on these is a bit wrong, but I have to go by the feedback I get from other people as well. I actually trust feedback from other people more than I trust my own ratings most of the time. So there are some definite tricks on this one about the way that the diagonals worked, I thought. it's possible this should have been earlier in the pack. It's fine. You get the puzzles. You have fun with the puzzles. That's what matters. I'm fairly confident, however, that the final puzzle, which is the last one I have to record, is definitely the hardest one in the pack. Not looking forward to recording it, to be honest. Yeah, I'm a little bit daunted by it. But I really had a lot of fun setting it. It was one, I think Maggie and I, the next puzzle Maggie and I spent, I think it was like 5 or 6 hours sitting there playing with it, trying to figure out if we could make it work. And at the end, we did something we very rarely do. We removed constraints. Yeah, very, very weird. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do hope you're enjoying the pack. And as always, good luck with your solving.